with Trinity Readings. We are going to do the Libra July Tarotscope. So keep in mind, these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements, because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. All right, Libra. Let's see what you've got going on for the month of July. I'm like, my left ear started burning. What is that? Okay, when your ear's burning, doesn't that mean that somebody's talking about you? Isn't that what it means? Your left side is feminine energy. I kind of feel like for some of you, like, be careful of emotional manipulation. Be careful of what a feminine energy might be whispering in your ear. It could be that there's a feminine energy around you that is like whispering about you. So be careful what information you're kind of like giving to especially feminine energies in your life. And it doesn't have to be like specifically female. It can be anybody that kind of represents more feminine type of energy, like more of an emotional type of energy, more of, you know, a sensual kind of energy, not not a very aggressive kind of person, masculine person. You get it, right? All right. Yeah, I feel like you're overcoming something. You're in a really good position. For some of you, there could be like competitiveness in your work environment. It could be that you're getting some sort of positive attention, and there could be like jealousy around you. But it's like you're standing kind of in a really good position right now. You are holding some sort of position of authority. People are looking up to you. People are seeing you as very strong. There might be a lot of people coming to you for advice, right? And I feel like that might be attracting, you know, kind of a little bit of jealousy. And so just be really mindful of people that are like, especially people that are being disrespectful of your boundaries, or just don't seem to respect boundaries, period. Because I feel like those people are kind of just like meddling, you know, just like if you say something to them about somebody, they're going to go repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be careful. Be careful of who you're giving information to. And I don't say that to like make you feel like you can't talk to anybody, or that you need to kind of just shut down, but just be careful of the information. Like, especially be careful of entertaining gossip. I'm feeling like protect your reputation. You're in a strong position, especially in terms of like a position where people have a lot of respect for you. People are holding you in high regard. Or it could even be that you're being looked at for like a higher position. in your job or something of that nature, and you really want to be careful. And I'm not saying you can't be yourself, right? I'm not saying you have to worry about how people are perceiving you, but I do feel it's important to like protect your reputation, especially when you are connecting to other people, celebrating with other people. Be careful of what you are freely sharing. All right, can we get more clarity on this message? Oh, I like this. Look at how the lover is and how the snake is, right? And then the next card is the snake and her kind of standing on top of the snake, and then she's the helper. It's almost like you went through something that really transformed you, and you overcame it, and you like overcame your demons, you overcame your fears. You could also have a really like powerful relationship, a really powerful partnership, but it's like you've done something, you've accomplished something that other people have not accomplished. And I feel like you are like either in a space currently or moving towards a space where you're going to be able to help other people do the same thing, right? But it feels like a very powerful position. And so you like the trickster card is saying to be very careful of who you're nurturing. You need to be able to like maintain your leadership role. It's like you took a spiritual vow and you have to commit to that, even if your friend's getting married and, you know, everybody wants to go party, and that's something against that spiritual oath you took. You know what I mean? Not that partying's bad, I'm not saying that, but you get what I'm saying. Like you made a commitment to something. You're being put in a leadership position. And so it's important, like, not to be careful with what you're entertaining, because again, you are in a leadership position. People are taking what you are, like, they're really paying attention to what you're saying, right? I don't mean to make that sound like scary, but because I don't think it's like a scary thing. Just be careful that you don't have to do, like, you know, damage control or be careful of the people that you're connecting to. You're in a space of growth. You don't want to get pulled back. Be careful of emotionally manipulative people. Yeah, yeah. Damn. They want to make sure that message comes through loud and clear. It's like there's something coming up. It's like a test of your ego. Like for some of you, and I try to stay away from it, but some of you, it is like a very like twin flame energy, like a very twin flame message. And with the twin flame relationships, like, it's a spiritual path, right? There's healing, there's a path, there's a purpose. Like, it's very, following divine law, right? And I feel like you've gotten to a good space with this connection. You're in not only a position to kind of learn something new, but also share what you're learning in some aspect. That could just be within the relationship itself or something of that nature, or you are a healer. But it's like, be very careful now that you're in this space. Be very careful of what you're entertaining, especially with your words, especially with your communication, and especially with your reputation. Because it kind of feels like not everybody is as evolved as you. It's like, stick to your values. It doesn't have to be twin flame, obviously. But it definitely seems to be like you're really moving in a powerful direction. But it's kind of like it's a newer kind of energy, right? You're stepping into something new. And so people can kind of like play on those insecurities. Yeah, 7 of Wands is like, there's a need to be mindful of boundaries right now. So be mindful of people that aren't respecting your especially if it's a twin flame relationship. If you've done all this work to honor your boundaries, honor your feminine energy, honor your masculine energy, you can't let anything slide when that relationship connects, right? You still have to stick to your boundaries. You still have to stick to your values. And I just feel like overall, like, even if it's not a relationship, that's what you're dealing with. Like, the need to put up those boundaries so you don't get kind of like, pulled in too many different directions. Because it's almost like there's people that you are connected to that their energy is kind of like so low vibrational that it's distracting you from how beautiful this path that you're really on is. You're being seen. You're out there. You're in a position of success. You are in a leadership position. But there are people that you are connected to that, again, just kind of aren't supportive. So you just have to be careful of people that are like jealous of your success. And also, you might not feel confident in stepping into this role. And so it's important to be mindful of where your fears might be, kind of affecting your thoughts. I feel like there's 3 people in your life that have to go. Does that make sense? Like, there's friendships that have to go. It's interfering with what you're trying to create moving forward. For some of you, it could be interfering with your relationship. For some of you, if you really want this person, you got to let this other person go, right? There's like people that have to go. Because even though they don't seem to be affecting things, they're affecting things energetically. Be careful of who you're communicating with. Be careful of protecting your reputation. Be careful of what you're saying to people, because you don't want people to be able to turn around and say, hey, so-and-so told me this. be careful of people that are dealing with some sort of loss right now, because they might be wanting to pull you down. I don't say any of this to scare you. I feel like you're in a really good position. I just feel like you have to be very, like, extra careful of who you're dealing with moving forward. Because there's people that are like trying to get your attention. There's people that are trying to get validation from you. There's people that are a little bit jealous of your success, and you need to just kind of, yeah, keep the boundaries up, because I like you don't want extra things to play on your any insecurities that you kind of already have. Like it's already like a big role. It's already like you're already kind of feeling a little bit nervous, so you don't want anything adding to that. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys have a good month. Bye-bye.